Hello guys! So today, that was weird, okay, alright. That sounded fake, but seriously, hello. So today we'll be addressing a philosophical question. We don't have any cue cards, we didn't prepare, it's gonna be our opinions, so if you don't have the same opinions as us, that's fine. You can actually tell us your opinion in the comments below. How we're going to choose it is that we went on a website, we picked out quickly a couple, like a dozen philosophical questions. They had a number associated to them, and we put those numbers in a random picker generator, and basically that's going to choose the question that we're going to be talking about today. So alright, pick a random...
Let's go.
Whee! 18. Oh boy. I only got 3 hours of sleep tonight. I thought I'd get something a little easier, but alright. Is what we perceive reality or just a construct of our minds? And as extra information to help us discuss, they say, are we in a computer simulation? Is our reality even real? When you think about something, does it become your reality? You go first.
Oh, I get to do two.
Yeah, you get the honor. Yes, indeed.
Well, so basically the question is what we perceive real, or is it just something our mind made up?
Or if we're in some kind of video game. Maybe not a video game, but like in something like that's kind of like a small something that's in a bigger something that, you know.
Yeah. It's very hard to be certain of that. It's just impossible to be sure of that. Let's assume for a second that what we perceive is real. It's still just our mind, kind of, our mind's way of perceiving it. All our senses come from our brain. Our brain creates the senses.
Well, yes, but it's still reality. Did you mean maybe that we could, not everyone would feel, let's say, this table the same way, or?
Well, yeah, color blindness is the best example.
Yeah.
People don't see colors the same way. People don't, depending on how your eyes work. People and animals don't see things the same way.
Yes, but that's still reality.
We're living in the same reality. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. But what I'm saying is that even if it is real, our way of perceiving it is all different. So we can't actually be sure that, let's say, what I'm perceiving, I can't take that as how things actually are, because you might see them differently. A cat might see it differently, you know.
A cat probably sees it differently.
Well, yeah, yes. Yeah. No, but who has the right version? You know, and
probably
is there a right version?
If it's a real world, and let's just put aside the fact that we could be in a video game and that the world is not true and that it's all lies and conspiracy, yeah. It's a real world.
Yeah.
There is a reality. There's one thing, one objective thing going on. There has to be one, but I don't know if anyone knows that reality.
The advantage that humans have over, let's say, animals that animals that try to find out if what they're seeing is actually real. They have to, all the tools they have are their eyes, their own senses. Well, we have our senses, but we also have we can communicate with each other, and we have other tools. We have, scientific tools, and they can see more. Let's say, we can only see a certain range of frequencies, like the visible light spectrum, but we have tools that can see everything, that can detect all the frequencies. So we're not limited to just what we can see with our own senses. So in a way, I'd say we have a more complete grasp of what reality actually is than other animals, let's say.
But I feel even if we have all these tools, yes, for sure we're the living species that's the closest to this one true reality. But I still feel even with kind of all the technological advances in the world, we still wouldn't be able to really pinpoint what that like true objective reality is. When we look at a tree, we could see something that's kind of vastly different. Like, yes, there's gonna be similarities, because if you're like, oh, the tree is red, well, then I'm gonna be like, what? Unless it's fall, then that makes sense. But like, but it's just, you know, but if we all use the same words, but they all mean something different to us, then we're all going to always think that we're seeing the same thing, when in fact we're all seeing a different version of that thing.
Yeah.
And also, like, the question originally was like, wait, is what we perceive reality or just a construct of our minds? So like, what we perceive, we're living in some kind of reality. I mean, whether that reality is a video game, as I said, or it's an actual Earth, like, there is a reality, and that doesn't change. But the way we see it,
yeah, the question is perceive.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the way we see it, for sure, that's kind of different for everyone. For like everyone, yeah.
Like, I don't know if you knew, but babies, they see everything upside down when they're born. I don't know at what age, or not at what age, but after, I think it's a few weeks, their brain learns to flip it, but at first everything is upside down for them.
They look forward, and it's
the ceiling is the floor is the ceiling.
Okay, I'm gonna have to understand how that works, like, scientifically, but that's not the point.
The top of your eye sees the bottom. The bottom of your eye sees the top. It's like and then
I know brain, that. I learned that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And your brain is the one that flips it afterwards.
Okay.
Like, what you're seeing depends on what your brain decides to do with it. If your brain one day decides that, no, I'm not gonna flip that image anymore, well, you're gonna be stuck living in an upside down world. What you experience is what your brain decides to do with the information it gets.
If we all live like some sort of, we perceive things differently, but like, it's still real to us, like, it's still something that we experience even though other people don't. The fact that we perceive things differently, does that make it like any less real? Why wouldn't the way I see it like be real? Why couldn't, like...
Because it's not the thing itself. You're not seeing the thing itself, you're seeing your brain's interpretation of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's like we're all in this huge white room with white walls and white floor and a white ceiling. That's cheesy. All right, I'm still gonna keep going. So everything is white, and just the whole population is in there, the babies, the grandmas, everyone. And we, like, that's the one true reality, but everyone's going to see something different in that room. And those are, as I said earlier, our emotions and the stuff that we lived, and those are the things that are going to influence what we see in that room exactly.
The question kind of talked about how do we know if we're living in a video game or in a simulation, or if we're actually living in the real world.
If we were in a video game, maybe like some sort of simulation, I don't know, but like video game, how could we possibly have like the conscience to ask ourselves that kind of question? Like, think about it right now. Do you think that Mario Bros in your game is able to be like,
no, but that's the thing about
we don't know.
Intelligent artificial intelligence. Well, that's kind
of
repetitive, but yeah.
Yes, but
but yeah, that's the thing that people are actually working to get to. At one point, we'll probably even be able to take everything that's in our brain, upload it into a computer, and then you live in whatever rules that computer program has. So let's say, and when you think about it, like, some things seem so obvious to us, like just gravity. Like, when you drop something, it falls to the ground. But let's say in that other world, it's the opposite. When you drop something, it falls up. In that computer program, at first, like, we would find it really weird, but people who are born into that, that would be their reality.
Okay, so you're saying that like the fact like stuff like the rules of our world can't be used as a way of saying that our world is real? That's what you're trying to say?
Yeah, because let's say like we could be, the actual real world could be a world in which gravity is the opposite, in which things go up, and we're in a simulation right now. We're this computer program where they did the opposite and that things go down.
It's like the experience is real, I guess, but the reality isn't. For sure, everyone I think is going to see reality differently because everything else we see differently.
What should be important is just trying to understand it as best we can. Even if we're in a computer simulation, we should try to understand that computer simulation as best we can.
Yeah, I think
just,
there's
we
benefits.
should just try to,
because some people could be like, because I feel like I was thinking that earlier actually, I was like, but even if we're perceiving reality in a different way than it actually is, the objective version of it, like, why would it be a bad thing? What if we're all in our different perceptions? Like, why would that be a bad thing? And I don't think it's a bad thing. But I also think that it's good to try to understand what reality really is, even though there's only so far we can go. Like, there's some sort of middle somewhere. Because, like, I feel like you can't live a lie either. Like, I don't know where's the line exactly, but, like, there are some people, I think, that we could look at them and we'd be like, dude, this is just, you're so off right now. You're so gone. Like, this is not the world, you know? Like, be unique. Be yourself. See, like, the world through kind of like your own lenses. But, like, don't purposefully put yourself through a false perception, I guess. So we're kind of like, there's the objective reality. The way you perceive a tree, you kind of don't have a lot of control over it. Then right over there, you have like Jimmy, who's like thinks he's a rabbit or something. Actually, I don't want to get in there. Like, if you think you're a rabbit, you do your thing. But like, it's just, I feel like, for me, my opinion is that you should try to be as close as possible to this, but maybe not right in the middle. Take time off and think about stuff like that, like we're doing. Like, maybe we're not saying a lot of smart stuff, like, you know, at least we're trying to think about it, which I think is a good thing.
The important thing is that you dig as far as you can into understanding the world around you.
Yeah, because I think sometimes I lack.
And help other people who need it too. Like, if people are clearly, like, are clearly
they're gone,
they're
like
rabbit,
they're far off.
If they think they're a rabbit, I mean, you might want to help them a little bit to, like, bring them back to reality. If they want your help.
If they don't, there's not much I think you can do about it. But yes, I'm gonna make like some sort of metaphor, because I think understanding is really key here. Like, for I think the past 3 minutes we've been saying, like, it's important to try to understand the world we live in, because lack of knowledge usually, like, if we take other examples in life, creates like dangerous situations. Like, if you don't know how the knife works, you're gonna be like, hey, well, I'm just gonna use my own perception, I'm going to stab myself. Like, the thing though about the way we perceive reality is that sometimes we don't realize it's hurting us. But when we get closer to understanding reality by trying to understand it, well, I feel like the more we know about it, the more we're able to be like, find that middle, actually. Understanding is going to make you realize, okay, so this I should clearly not be doing, and this is kind of my personal choice at the end of the day, because no one knows what reality is. It's not hurting me, and
make sure it's not hurting you is the first step. Or hurting anybody else.
Yes. I think we've come to a conclusion. We've come to a conclusion that we said, in our opinion, from the discussion we've had, that people see the world differently. We can't all see it the same way because we're all different. Our example to prove that we all see life differently is the way that everything else in our life we all see differently. All right. So I think that proves that it is a construct of our minds. But another question that we answered is, well, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? What should we do about it? We said, well, you should try to learn about the reality. And our example for that was, when you don't have knowledge, things can get out of control. Yeah. So I think
that's a good conclusion.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for today. You can like, subscribe if you want. Leave a comment if you have anything to add to this discussion that you think we missed. And feel free to check out our other videos. We have a lot of those. Just a little warning, some of them are a little weird.
I'm sure you already knew that though. But yes. All right, bye now.
Bye bye.